Hello everyone and welcome to this new crash course in teaching you how to use GitHub Copilot to create a simple page and having OpenAI API to create your own chatbot and your own ChatGPT page, and how you can do that simply by using CSS, HTML, JavaScript. While we are doing that, we will learn how to discover new APIs, how to test our API by using the RapidAPI website, and what we can do for that as well. So let's get started. Right here, I'm having a new project on Visual Studio Code. I will start with the new page called index.html. This page will be our basic page for our project, and we'll just go with HTML5 and call it here ChatGPT clone. Then right now we will have two things for this project. Let's save this page. First, I will need to have a place for the code or for the text that I'm getting from the chatbot and my own text, which is would be the chat logs, and I will need just like a button or side an area to input and text and have the button to send that to that server and test it. For that, we will just go with Copilot and see what it can do for us. Create a div for chat logs. And here you see that there is a chat logs. There's a div called chat logs, and we have it here as just like normal area. For the second area that we need, we have the chat box suggested by themselves, and here we have the chat box. I don't want this one, so let's try the other one. No, we can right now press Ctrl Enter and see the results that provide us from Copilot. Chatbox have the script as well. No, I think I will go with this one, the second one, but here you have some kind of duplicate code. I don't want it. I can just accept this solution and remove the code that I don't want. So here we have chat logs with the chat logs information, and we have as well the message area that we send in the chat box. We can have something here, call it chat logs. Let's say chat GPT, so it's the text that we get from ChatGPT, and we have a space, then we say hello, how can I help you? To test this, we can go live. This is an extension in Visual Studio Code where you can live test your project and see it on the browser. Here's the browser, and here we can see ChatGPT saying hello, how can I help you? And we have the chat box here, the information that we need. And when we press enter or anything, it's just not working. We need to change the type from submitting and keep it as yeah, instead of having it submitting, we need it to be as a button. Name, submit, type, submit. No, we'll just remove this area and we'll close the button. So here we have the button, and we need to remove the form. We don't need that right now because we are just using the API instead of sending it anything to our server. Hello, and that's it. So right now we have just a simple page showing the information that we get and having the information that we have here. When we need anything else or anything new, we'll just add a new line and we will write it by the user, and we'll do this with our code right now. Let's remove this and have just chat box in the bottom, and right now we'll go to the simple JavaScript code where we'll test this one, and we'll have a written text in the screen. Then we will go to use the API. As for this one, we will just create a new JavaScript code and we'll call it script.javascript, and we will need to add this code, add script file at the bottom of our HTML file to test it. Then we will get back here and we'll just write a function. We'll call it send So for this function, what we need to get like the information from the, let's keep it on the other side right now to see the HTML code that we have here. So for this function, we need to get the information from the bottom when it's clicked, and we get the input message, then print it to the screen. So let's just start it by get the value from the input with the ID, not num. It should be submit message. No, it should be user message. Sorry. We get the value right now from the user message. After that, we call this one user message. After that, we will not send it to the server. We will write it when someone click on the button here. So check if the submit message button is clicked. No, we don't need that. So we need to add that here. So we'll add an add event listener to the button with ID called submit message, and you will see if it's clicked, it will call this function that we have here now. Like after that, we will get this text value here. We will write the text, the user message to the div with not chat box, we have it chat logs, and we'll just print it on the screen. Here we have the inner HTML. We'll add the chat, close this one. We'll add the user message that we have, but we can like add an extra thing right now, like this here. And instead of having it as ChatGPT, we'll call it user, and we'll have a new line at the end. Here, let's see the code that we have written. The ChatGPT, hello, how can I help you, is saying, and here, hello, I need help with using the API. So right now when we click, we just see that it's on the screen, but like there is nothing happened. We just like print them. What we can do, when we click the send, we need to remove this code, this text from here, so it would be much like better user experience. After sending it and printing it, clear the input field with user message. It's just gets it directly with the chat, with the Copilot. As you can see, it's cleared, and here, how can I use an API? Here, just like sending, and we have nothing. And by doing this, we have like simple JavaScript code that we have written to print the stuff that we are doing or getting from here to the screen. What we need to do next, we need to go and check the OpenAI API to see what we can do with them. So for that, we'll get back to, let's open this one. And to do this, we need to go for the OpenAI website, and we'll go directly to the platform since I'm already signed in there. And here you can see that we have the personal area, zoom in, and we have our keys, and then we can generate a key and use it for our project. To test that key, we'll go to the RapidAPI website, which is like a great website for APIs to check your own API and test it. And we can go and check the OpenAI API. We have it here, and we can see that it's been uploaded by the RapidDevRel team, and it's in the artificial intelligence category. And here we have the API calls that we need. Right now I will go and check the create chat completions, and I can see that there is a great examples here, and there is a simple one as well. So to do that, we need the key that we will get from the OpenAI project, and here we get the key, then we returned here, and right now we can test the API. As you can see, when we tested the API, we get like the answer, and you can see the choices. It's saying, hello, how can I assist you today? What we need to do right now, we need to get this text, or like, let's say this answer from the API, and add it to the project that we have, and add our message here. To do that, we can use the snippet that's been used by or generated by RapidAPI, and we can go to JavaScript. I will go with fetch, And here you can see that we have a snippet that we can use directly in our project. I will copy it and go to my project, to my script. Before removing our data, I need to get the user message for us. So here I just like pasted the image, pasted the snippet, and I will go to the message here and the content. I will change this one and have it as our user message. Here we have the user message that we get from the user, and it's been sent to the server with this body. But with the other thing that I need to use is to print this stuff, or like the response on the screen. Let's close this one a bit, and to do that we will get the response. From the response we can remove this one, and we can, since the response is returning as JSON, we can see what is being returned here from the RapidAPI, and you can see it's returning as an object, and we have few information for the objects. Then we have choices as an array. Let's go and write it here. We have response, then choices as an array. After that we have like the first object, then message, then the content that we need. Let's go with the first element, then message, then the content that we need. This will return us a simple like text content that we have, but we need to print on the screen. And to do that we'll do the same thing as we did here. We'll get the inner HTML and print that content, but like instead of having the user message here, we just like write it as content and the information that we have, and here we'll say ChatGPT. Right now we have just written a simple code that will show ChatGPT information on the screen, and we will have it tested right now again. Let's get back to the project that we have here on the HTML. It's just been uploaded directly with the plugin that I mentioned before. Here, how can I help you today? Let's ask him what is an API, and you can see like the user sent him a question about what is an API, and you are getting an answer from ChatGPT saying the information about the API. But during this time we need to disable this button to not like send multiple answer and make the user understand that there is a message being sent to the browser. So let's go here and to the server, disable the send button, so it's disabled, true, and we need to get, when we get the response we need to return it to false, so it will not be disabled and it will be working as to how we expected it. Give me 3 projects about API, about using APIs. So here like that we see that the button is disabled, and we'll get the answer from the ChatGPT. Here it's just giving you the answer that we have: travel website, WhatsApp, weather app, health and fitness tracker, the basic project that you can do at the beginning. Right now we just finished the simple code that we need for the HTML, for the JavaScript that we are doing, and you can move to the CSS and just like do some couple of cool projects or cool area and touches that we need. Then we will return back to the JavaScript and see what we can do again and move forward with that. Let's go with the CSS. As we said, we will go for the CSS. We will write a new project. We call it style.css, and for this one we will write the project or the information that we need for this HTML. So at the beginning we can test, close this one, and we can say make the body in the middle of the screen. So it will just return all the information to make the body in the middle of the screen. But as you can see here, we have some extra positions or information that we have. Let's test it and see what will give us. But like, since it's, we need to add it as well here, the style. Here we added it, and as you can see, it's in the middle of the screen right now. It's been done with that Copilot directly. We didn't write any single code from this one, and it just like created it for us. Let's test it and say we see the result. How are you doing? You see that ChatGPT is just like creating the information that we need. So for that, I don't want to have the width as 100%. I want it to be 80% to like minimize the area that the person will look on the screen. At the same time, I want to align the text on the left side instead of the center. So we have some kind of changes we did here. And here you can see that the code is like more tidy right now. And for the width, I think we can like do it instead of having that, we can like do 250 pixels or 150 pixels, so we can like have a better view and more like centered view. So here we have the information, we have the text, and what we also can do with the code that we have, we can add a background color instead of having it as white. We can like have it a little bit gray. And here the other thing that we need to do, or like we can do, is we can go to the chat box here and make it like in symbol area, and we have it like in the side by side instead of having this here. Make the user input with ID equal user message as width as 80%, so we can have another area for, as you can see, just like made it for 80%, and we have an area here for the send button, and we can test it. What else we can move for this one? The other thing that we can do is like having a better view for the CSS, but before doing that, I would like to add another functionality for our project. So right now we can see that we have just like a text for the information that we got, but I want to have some kind of, let's say, extra functionality, which is we can use another API endpoint from OpenAI and see what we can do with that. For that, I'm thinking to go and choose the image API to print an image on the screen instead of having it like this one directly, and we can have here an option to send an image. And for this one, we'll get back to the JavaScript and use that. As I mentioned, I am going back to the JavaScript. For the JavaScript, I want to write a functionality to have an option from the user from this side and and have it to check if it's an image, to show an image, or if it's an text, shows a text for that. Here, let's say I want to select, not I want, select option with text and image. We will add this one on. This is not the information that I want to have, but like we can use this one. So we can close the option, the select right now, and we can have it here. So text and image. Here we'll have the value as text and the value as image. The ID, let's say input type. For this one, we'll format our file, and we'll have just like the input file, and we'll see if it's text or image. Let's see at the screen that we have here. You can see you choose a text or image, and if we went back to the JavaScript, we have our call here, which is being used with RapidAPI. But let's say, and we need to check the other call and we need to test it. Here we have the examples again, just like a simple one with one option for an image, which is showing a cute baby sea otter, and we have the size. If we call it this endpoint, we see the result of having changed right now, of having just like a URL. For this URL, let's go and copy it and see what kind of result we have. Here you see the baby otter there, sea otter there, and to do that, to use that in our project, we have to have some kind of an image input here. So let's say I want to have add image, and it will just like show us how it will be added. So it will be added as source, and we have the link for the image. We don't need this information for the width and size, and we can just like the alternative name for that, image generated, just like image. We'll just go with the basics right now, and we can add it this way. So as you can see, we have the image here, but we need to get it from the call instead of having it directly. So to do that, before going to the call on JavaScript, we'll need to add the call and we will get the answer from here. So we need to check if it's an input text or an image. Then we will get the answer and then we'll send it to our server. So we'll get back to the Rapid and we will get the code snippets and we'll paste it here. So as you can see, the code snippet is similar to the previous one, but like with a change in the body. So we will just go and change the body and change the link type that we have. So if it's like an image, we'll go for the image, otherwise it will go to chat completions. And for this one, we'll just define let URL and we'll keep it empty, and we'll have body and we'll keep it empty, and then we will move here and add an option, check if the input, what should we call it, check input with id equal input type is text or image. So here, if document value is text, we will go with this one, URL chat completions. Yeah, we'll have the same body that we got it from here. Else it will be an image, so we'll have the image generation and the body will change to this one. We'll change this to this, and we will get like the user message from the user themselves instead of writing it by ourselves. So we'll just copy this one and add it here. By doing this, you will change the prompt that we send to the server. For the options, it will be the same, but we will change the body for both of them. And we need to remove this one. Then we'll have, since the URL changed, we can like get to just only one of them, and here we add the URL. And the other thing that we need to change is the text that we print. So here we have just like a direct text and we get the message from the response. But like if it's not text, if it's message, as you can see here for the value, we can like get the value from here and add it as let value check. Here we can have, we get the value. Again, we will have something similar to the text. If it's text, after the fetch, then we will show this one directly. Otherwise, we'll have a different ChatGPT response. No, otherwise we will go and do something similar to the one that we get here. But like instead of having this long text, we will just like have a similar one, more simpler one. We don't want to close this one, sorry. Here we have the inner HTML, and we need to add our, let's make it a new line. Here we need to add our image, so we'll close this one and we'll add here the response from the server. And how we can know that response, we can check again the RapidAPI. So we can see here we get like an object, and with the object we get data as an array and we get a URL. So we will have the response, which is the object that we get from, which is JSON object we get from the server. Then we will have data, and the data is just like an array, as you can see here, with one item. We'll get the first item from the array, then we'll get the URL of that item. Then we will close this, and we don't want this one. It will be enough for us to be in this style. So right now we just change the style that we have, or the script that we have, to check if the input that we get is text or if it's message, and change the endpoint that we send to the browser, to the server, and see the result that we can get. Let's see how it will work. What is the fastest animal in the world? Here we are getting the answer from the ChatGPT, saying it's pigeon falcon. So we'll move this, copy this one, and change it to an image and test it. So we just like written the information for that, and here is the image that we got from the ChatGPT. By doing this, as you can see, we just like get an image from the browser, and we can from the server, from OpenAI DALL-E project, and we have our own simple ChatGPT, or let's say chatbot, we write here. The other thing that we can do is having a better view for this one, which we can do by fixing some kind of, or let's say adding an extra CSS and having a different style for the style right now here. To do that, we can have, if you don't know CSS at all, you can like just go and add the CSS from the style here and see what we can do for that. Or we can, as we tried before, go to the CSS file and see what we can get from Copilot. Right now, what I want to do, I want to ask Copilot to have like a different color for the ChatGPT background and different color for the user background. But to do that, I need to have different classes for those. So let's see here. If you can see right now, it's just like the same class, and we added print it on the screen. So to do that, I will go to the script that I have. I will copy this to make it much easier to show the result that we got. So here we have the user saying some information, and then let's say show an image of falcon, and then I will copy the same information that we get from ChatGPT to just like have it in a simpler way and being printed, so we can see the result that we can get directly. So here with the HTML, here the image, just like it's something from Wikipedia, but we will use the one from ChatGPT. And here is the image that we get. It's not Falcon, it is the sea otter one. Let's say sea otter. And right now I want to add a span. For those to just like have different classes for that. And when I have the different classes, I will be able to have different style for those classes. So let's call this class equal ChatGPT. We don't need this one. And this class equal user. This class will be ChatGPT again. So here we have different classes right now. We can check. Here is the span, and here is the class of the span. You can make it div as well if you want. So it will be like cover the whole block area instead of having like similar short area. Let's make it div. And this one. With this, we'll have like some option to change the style that we have. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to reach this. So I want to have the ChatGPT background in different color. Let's test it directly. If it was red, it's not good one. Let's say just black. Then we can click this area and we can play around with the color. I think we can go with something like green, black and yellow, white and yellow, and we can have it in this way. So we can like use this color for the style for the classes. We will write just chat GPT with, we'll go with them for by dot, and we'll print this one. So as you can see, we have like different color for the chat GPT classes right now, and we can change it from here or here as well. Right now we have a different colors for the chat GPT and for the background for the user, and we can change something here. So we can like, if we go to the chat box, and we can like add a border for that 1 pixel with its beige, and we can have it solid. So we'll have like a simple border around it, but I don't want it in beige. I want it in yellow. And the other thing I want to add is the radius for that. Let's add it from this side, border radius, and we'll have it as 10 pixel. No, it just didn't work. We had like a border for this one here, and we have the area here, but like the radius didn't work. So we'll just go with the border, and here we can say hello, what is it today, and as a text. Let's add the border to our chat, not our chat GPT. We want to add it to the whole body as well. So here we have the bordering body. Not the whole body. Let's add it just to the chat box. And here we have it here. Just refresh. Ah, it's an ID. So here the ID have that, and for the chat logs as well. Let's see what they provided us. They provided like a background color, a different height, and the overflow. For the height, I don't want that. I want to have it like as the view height or it itself. So I want to have it like 80% view height, so it will cover like the whole area. I don't want padding, and I want to be, yeah, that's something similar to what I want to have. So here you can see, and whenever we add new images, penguin, you can see that we can like scroll in the text that we have. Here's the scroll that we have here, and we can like ask another question. Name 3 animals. We'll have just like a naming of random 3 animals. Cat, dog, and rabbit, dog, cat, and rabbit, and we just like get an image of rabbit by changing the text that we have here. Here is the cute rabbit that we have. The other thing that we can do right now is to make this image button on the left side instead of having it in the like on the top of that. So we can just go to the user and save a message, and instead of having it like as, we can have it as 60% of 80%, so we can like have the whole area here. We go back to our text. Here we'll have it 60% and it will be changed. on our page. The other thing that we can do right now is we have like a different background for the user and different background for the ChatGPT. We will keep the ChatGPT as yellow, but we will go for the user background color. Chat logs user. Let's say add here background red. We can change it to something to white somehow, so we can yeah, we can have it like this color, and we will just like use it. This is user message body. We will need to add it here. So the class that we changed is class called user. We had add the background color right now, and we can see like anything for the user, it will be changed to this color. By doing this, as you can see, we created a simple chatbot by using the ChatGPT OpenAI API, and we had to use the DALL-E API as well to create images. And this is like just a short clash course for the information that you got, and it will help you to start from there. You can change the style that you have. You learned how to use the RapidAPI user interface and how to use that for the project that you need, and you can like right now play around and do the project that you want with that and change the style for whatever you like. This is a bonus. So after doing our project, we didn't launch it or have it on GitHub. So right now I will show you how to commit the project that you did and how you can add it to GitHub profile that you have. But before doing that, there is two things to remember. First, remove all the secret keys that you have from your project. Secret key. And remove the key that you have from the RapidAPI so you can change them by yourself. After that, you will go to the source control area. You will initialize the repository. And right now you will see we have an initialized repository. We will commit all the project that we have. We say init first commit, then we will commit this one. After that, we'll just need to publish the branch that we have. It will be published. We can choose if it's private repository or if it's public repository. I will go with the public one, and you can see it will be published on GitHub. To do this from your Visual Studio Code, you need to be signed to the GitHub and the information that you need here before. We will go to the GitHub and see the project that we have here. Another thing that we can do is we can go to the things, we go to pages, and we can go and deploy from branch. We save this one. By doing this, you will have a specific page for your project, which will be initialized, and we will get it when we get like the checks to be done from this one from the build. As you can see here, it's starting the project and setting up the job that we have, which will publish our project as a page on GitHub, and when it's done, it will be okay. As you can see right now, we have a new environment which is called GitHub Pages, and when this environment is done, the project that we have, it will be deployed. Here, when we refresh our page, we see that it's active, and we can click directly to the view deployment, and we see our project already published online at this link. You can change your link and you can have your own custom link, or you have your own domain. All of this you can change based on the information that you have in the settings in the pages area. And thank you for joining today. Hopefully we'll see you in another crash course. Have a good day. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Tell us how did you feel about this course today, and hopefully we'll see you in another course later. Have a great day.